Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me today because we have some very exciting General Hospital news to talk about, and it's definitely worth the wait. You know, I've been watching General Hospital for more years than I can count, and this current story with Britt and young Rocco has me sitting on the edge of my seat every single day. It really touches my heart, especially at my age, when you start thinking more about what really matters in life. Let me tell you what's been happening. Britt has spent years quietly working on this big scientific project, some kind of prototype that nobody fully understood. She made a tough deal with some dangerous men, Sidwell and Cullum, just so she could get the medicine she needs to control her Huntington's disease. She was scared of getting sick again, scared of dying too soon, but things got way out of hand. Because of that deal, Jason got kidnapped, poor Marco was killed, and now little Rocco's life is hanging in the balance. It's just heartbreaking to watch. That's when Britt showed everyone how much she has truly changed. Instead of thinking about herself first like she used to, she made a brave decision. She said to herself, if I leave Port Charles right now and walk away from everything, this whole dangerous project will stop. No finishing the prototype, no helping those bad guys complete Faison's terrible plan. She believes leaving is the only way to keep everyone safe, especially Rocco. But here's the painful part. If she goes, she loses access to her medicine. Her symptoms will come back fast, and she knows she probably won't have much time left. What really gets to me is the special bond she's built with that boy. Rocco isn't just some kid to her anymore. He feels like family. He looks up to her with those big trusting eyes, and she's become someone he really cares about. And the toughest thing, Rocco already knows the truth. He understands that if Britt leaves town to save him and everyone else, she's most likely going to die. Can you imagine carrying that kind of heavy knowledge at such a young age? It must be tearing that poor boy apart inside. Every time I think about it, I feel a little lump in my throat. I've seen Britt go through so many ups and downs over the years. She used to be a woman who put herself first, always looking out for number one. But love and time have a way of softening even the hardest hearts. Now she's putting Rocco's safety above her own life. She's willing to give up everything, her future, her health, maybe even her last years, just to protect him and stop the danger that she helped create. That kind of sacrifice, well, it doesn't come easy. It shows real growth and real love. I remember thinking the other day while watching, Lord, this girl has come so far. It makes me proud of her character in a strange way, even though she's just on a TV show. It reminds me of how real people change too. We all make mistakes. We all get mixed up with the wrong folks sometimes, but it's never too late to do the right thing, even when the cost is terribly high. At the end of the day, I sure hope the writers give Britt a fighting chance. She deserves some peace and happiness after everything she's been through. This story is teaching us something important. Sometimes the greatest love isn't about holding on for yourself, but about letting go for someone else. It's painful, it's brave, and it's beautiful all at the same time. I'll keep tuning in every afternoon just like I always do. My fingers are crossed that things work out for Britt and Rocco. They both deserve better days ahead. Stories like this are why I've loved this show for so long. It shows us that even in the middle of all the drama, the human heart can still surprise us in the best ways. You know, I've been watching General Hospital for decades now, and the latest episode really pulled me in deep. The way everything is unfolding with Lulu, Dante, Rocco, and that connection to Britt's situation, it just tugs at your heartstrings. Let me tell you what happened. It was full of tension, secrets, and tough choices. It all started over at Lulu's house. Ethan Lovett showed up right on time, just like he had promised. He was carrying those fake passports, trying to be all sneaky about it by hiding a package behind his back. Lulu, smart as she is, quickly sent young Rocco off to the store to pick up some laundry detergent. She wanted the boy out of the house so she and Ethan could talk without little ears listening in. Once Rocco was gone, Ethan got straight to business. He told her that her new fake name would be Sarah Anderson, and Rocco's would be Tyler Anderson. He even offered to arrange a private plane and a discreet pilot if she needed to get out of Port Charles in a hurry. But Lulu shook her head and said she thought it was better if she handled things on her own. She felt like she still had enough time to come up with her own plan without rushing into anything too dangerous. Just when things seemed settled, Dante walked through the door and caught Lulu hugging Ethan. Oh boy, you should have seen the look on Dante's face, pure suspicion and hurt all mixed together. After Ethan left, Dante's eyes landed on those packed suitcases sitting by the door, and he wasn't about to let it slide. He pushed and pushed until Lulu finally admitted the truth. She was planning to run away with Rocco. The argument that followed was intense. You could feel the pain in both of them. Dante's voice got real serious as he told her he refused to let her turn their son into a fugitive, always looking over his shoulder. He even swore he'd have people keeping an eye on her so she couldn't slip away. It was heartbreaking to watch a family that's already been through so much tearing at each other like that. Poor Rocco must have come back from the store at the worst possible moment. He overheard parts of their heated argument before slipping away again. That boy is carrying way too much on his young shoulders already. Can you imagine hearing your parents fighting about whether to run away or not? It just breaks my heart thinking about it. Realizing that time was running out fast and Dante was serious about stopping her, Lulu knew she had to act quickly. The moment she could get away, she rushed off to find Ethan again. You can tell she's desperate and scared, a mother willing to do anything to protect her child. And you know what really gets me thinking about all this? It connects right back to Britt and the sacrifice she's ready to make. Britt is over there planning to leave town herself, knowing full well that if she walks away from that project, she'll lose her medicine and her Huntington's disease will come roaring back. She's ready to give up her own life to stop the danger and save Rocco. Meanwhile, here's his mother Lulu packing bags and preparing to disappear with him, willing to become fugitives just to keep him safe. Two very different women, both ready to risk everything for that boy in their own ways. It makes me sit back and shake my head. This show really shows how love can push people to the edge. Britt has changed so much, she's putting Rocco first, even if it costs her everything. Lulu is fighting with every breath she has because she just got her son back and she's terrified of losing him again. Dante's stuck in the middle, trying to do what he thinks is right as a father. And poor Rocco is caught between all these adults who love him but can't seem to agree on how to protect him. I'll tell you, at my age, stories like this make you think about real life. Sometimes the people who love you the most end up making the hardest decisions. I just hope they find a way to protect that boy without destroying the family completely. These kinds of storylines are what keep me coming back every day. They feel so real, so emotional, and so human. I can't wait to see what happens next. You know, what really hits me hardest in all this is how much poor Rocco is hurting right now. That boy has been through more than any kid his age should ever have to handle. He only recently found out that Britt is the one who gave birth to him, not Lulu. For a while, he thought she was gone forever, and when she came back into his life, all he wanted was a real chance to know her and his grandmother Liesl too. Of course, that didn't sit well with Lulu at all, but Rocco's heart was big enough to care for both women. Over these past few months, he and Britt have grown so close. He even trusted her enough to tell her about shooting Cullum and how much guilt he's been carrying around. Britt could see he was cracking under all that pressure, that he was reaching his breaking point. So she made up her mind the only real way to help him was to leave poor Charles for good. When she told him that, it just crushed him. Rocco is heartbroken, plain and simple, especially when he realized that if she walks away, she'll lose her medicine and her Huntington's will come back. He knows she's willing to die so he can be safe. That kind of love from a mother, well, it's a heavy thing for a young boy to carry. In one of the most touching moments I've seen in a long time, they both said, "I love you" to each other. Britt looked so happy to hear those words from him, and you could tell it meant the world to her. She's ready to give up everything, even her own life, just so her son can have a future without fear. At the end of the day, I sure hope she doesn't have to go through with it. Things are getting more tense by the minute, and maybe Sidwell and Cullum's dirty work will finally get exposed before it's too late. But no matter what happens, I think the bond between Rocco and Britt is real and strong. That kind of love doesn't just disappear. Now, how Lulu's going to feel about all this, that's another story. She's already struggling, and seeing her son so close to Britt might be tough for her. Me, I think it's beautiful that Rocco finally has both women in his life who love him. Family isn't always simple, but real love like this, the kind that makes you willing to sacrifice everything, that's what makes this show so special. I'll be watching closely to see how it all turns out. My heart's with that boy. He deserves some peace after everything he's been through.